Awards. I sent to Tom, I sent to Glenn, and I sent to the South Neighborhood Council and asked them if they have nominees for the Fernando Awards. The Fernando Awards is a 57-year-old organization that was established in 1959, and we look at volunteers and philanthropy. And it's never been outreached out to neighborhood councils, and I think this is a good place to start. Since you're in my neighborhood council, and I'm in your neighborhood council, then I think that I'd like to be able to open this up. It's on our website, www.fernandooawards.org. Tom, you have it in your email. I'd like to see if you have somebody that you feel is able to be nominated for it. The event is going to be in September 26th at Cal State Northridge at BPAC. So we look forward to seeing somebody from the neighborhood council. Number two, I am a co-chair of the Cal State Northridge Golf Construction Management Golf Committee. And we're looking for golfers and sponsors for a June 22nd at North Ranch. It supports Cal State Northridge construction management students. We've graduated about 125. They all start about $60,000 a year. They start at either Tishman, Turner, Acon, Swinnerton, Pencil Phelps. These are the largest because what they teach is corporate construction. A lot of them go back into their own family type of construction business, and they find out that they have a lot of tools to help them, to help their parents to actually organize the construction company that they've been growing up with all these years. And the last thing is what you have on your agenda is the Special Olympics. I'm the co-chair with Vic Sampson, with Cole Banker, and looking at raising some funds, a small amount of funds from the neighborhood councils, and to see if you would join us for the Special Olympics. Cal State Northridge is going to have 700 beds for the host committees, and that will be Chatsworth, Woodland Hills, Northridge. So we have a lot to do. We have to host them for 3 days, so we're looking for food, we're looking for different activities for them. But my job is to identify corporate donations, but how to get back to neighborhood councils. With that, thank you very much.
David, quick question. I'd like you, there's a NPG, Neighborhood Purpose Grant, that needs to be filled out. Can you get with Glenn Wilson here, treasurer, and get that to him ASP? Because that's going to be on tonight's agenda for consideration. If it's approved, we're going to need to get that package done immediately and get it in and done for the, I think we're allocating $500.
Okay.
So would you be kind enough to work with us tonight and try to...
I will have it filled out for you.
Great.
Is that on your website?
Yes, there's a link to it, but I'd like you to get with Glenn because that's the connection. Yes.
Is that the same grant that you're doing through the Swanas? Is it separate or the same? For the same, for the, because I remember last one, the Swanas were asking for the donation. Mrs. Rose was asking for the donation for that, to make sure that the ducks are lined up and you know which organization you're going through.
All donations are going to go to the Special Olympics.
The only thing is, right at the moment, if all the ones that are waiting for, pending for approval from Dunn go through, it'll be goose egg.
So have we already allocated funding for the Special Olympics?
Not on this. No, if those, all these ones here are all, we got solid, I just have to pay when I get to it. So it's YMC, 1,000. Kyle's, there's Hawaiian, dance, and then 750 for the preparedness.
So there's nothing that's been allocated for?
No, that's what you'll notice later in the deal. There's $250 coming from community improvements to cover $250 short for NPG funding right now.
Okay. We'll take up that issue. David? we'll get with you. Let's take care of time business, and we'll see where we are.
Well, the Kiwanis, the Northridge Chamber, they're all part of the same. The funds will go into exactly the same. Dick Layton is the person that's representing Kiwanis. I'm part of his committee.
Okay.
He's the chair.
All right. Yes.
We're talking about different grantees. The grantee for the one we're talking about tonight is the Kiwanis Club. You can make another MPG to another grantee.
But realize the money's all going to the special Olympics.
Correct. So,
Okay. All right. Thank you.
and the Special Olympics is not in our, district. The Kiwanis Club.
Okay.
True.
And then just so that way you know, David, I personally reached out and I think stepped up to Mike's challenge to contribute to the personally
Oh, so there's two of us.
to the event and to the cause.
Thank you
So,
very much.
moving on to the next public speaker, a gentleman in by Glenn Bailey. Is he here tonight?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where the best place to stand is, so do what Scott did. Glenn Bailey, for those of you who don't know me, I actually had communication with Lydia Grant, whose name was mentioned earlier, because she couldn't be here tonight, so I'm going to give a quick update from her at her request, all right? And one of these I would have done anyway. Congress of Neighborhoods is on September 26th. That's every year. We have about 750 Neighbor Council board members and stakeholders committee members attend that. So if it's not on your calendar, please put it on your calendar. City Hall all day. If you haven't already donated money to that account, if you have, thank you very much. If you haven't, I guess this would be the last meeting to do that, but you can still give in July, just be from the new funds. And then associated with that, and so we're working on the workshops now. There's usually about 27 different workshops. This year we've gotten additional rooms, so it looks like we may have to be up to 40 workshops, which means more choices for you, or workshops that will be repeated based on popular demand, because sometimes people can have two of the same, they want to go to both at the same time. So watch for that. It'll be a good experience. The Empower LA Awards, which is citywide recognition for the neighborhood councils that are outstanding in certain criteria, which I know you've gotten the Bank Award. I don't know about the Empower LA Awards, but that process, congratulations. That process is going to be different this year in that it's going to be a separate awards event on September 11th in City Hall. That's a Friday in the evening. I realize that's not be convenient for a lot of people, but just want you to have a heads up on that as well, if you are able to, in the evening on a Friday, take the subway or whatever. But having representatives of all 96 neighbor councils would be really good. So that's and there are things going on with the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners. I'm not going to take what few seconds I have left to report on that. Just watch the e-blast, but they are looking at policies regarding the website, policy or criteria, depending on how they decide. They haven't decided. That may change how we do our business there. They're looking at the stakeholder definition, the community interest to refine that. So that has to be done before the upcoming election next spring. And they're looking at the code of conduct enforcement. So just be watching for those things. I did mention the Valley Alliance meeting earlier. Our main focus for Thursday's meeting is the whole issue of the funding issues that are now happening with the city budget and with the city and the Department of Health. That's going to be the focus. So the $5,000 up to that was voted on to possibly increase our annual budgets is subject to the department. The rollover, the possibility of rollover to the following year. So hopefully you can send a couple representatives and weigh in on that. It's going to be up to the department, and they need to hear from us. So I'll take my time up. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. And I want to commend you on your showing in the last election.
So thanks.
You had our votes, so Good luck on pursuing that.
That was community college, yeah. And sorry, the most important thing is budget advocate. I am your budget advocate, and I didn't mention it, so, if I could. So, June 27th is Budget Day, City Hall. I know you have your budget reps, but everyone is invited. It starts at 7:30 with a great breakfast. There will be citywide officials, the city controller, the CAO, the head, the president of city council, talking about the city's budget and fiscal situation, both currently and looking ahead. So June 27th, you're all invited as well to attend that for till about 12:30. So, and they'll be electing the new budget advocates at that time for the next fiscal year term. So this may be my last appearance as your budget advocate. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Glenn. Are there any other public comments that
Yes,
are
sir.
on non-agenda items from anybody in the audience? Mr. Kuzma, yes. Could you come up, please, and spell your name?
Here's a piece of paper for the record, and we're not gonna talk about my name.
Speaker, WK.
WK is on my speaker's card tonight, and that's very specific for a very specific reason. You all know that I'm very active in making sure that the neighborhood councils know about the Brown Act laws and following those laws and about the done resolutions and regulations. And Glenn mentioned a couple of them previously, the code of conduct. Now, the good news tonight is my comment is not about you directly, because you didn't do anything wrong here, but somebody else did. And, you know, I file a complaint. When I file a complaint, it's because it's legitimate. I don't file frivolous complaints. I have proof. I have evidence to back it up. I have refined this to a science with the help of the city attorney, who dismissed several complaints. So I'm good at this now. And something happened. I filed a complaint against the neighborhood council that shall remain unnamed. Unnamed because Robert's Rules of Order says that we really need to avoid using individuals' names during public meetings. And so I'll avoid the names, but I filed a complaint because they did not file an ENS notification for their general meeting. And I filed it with Dunn. Now, I don't know if Dunn did anything. I heard a rumor, but it's a rumor, so I won't repeat it. But the following Valley Alliance Neighborhood Council meeting, I'm sorry, I don't mean to look at the stakeholders. The following Valley Alliance Neighborhood Council meetings, a board member from that board stood up and said, we got a complaint filed against us. Our NEA told us about this, filed by none other than Qua, and they used my name out loud. Now, the Code of Conduct says that the board is not to make demeaning or disparaging statements about anybody. It says board members, but I think that applies to the stakeholders too. I witnessed a meeting recently where board members literally tore apart a stakeholder just asking for an opinion on a variance. They dug up past history and contentious things. I'm sorry, when it happens to me, I have thick skin and it can roll off. When it happens to someone else who's the parent of a developmentally disabled adult child that they have to take care of and need something to make that easier for them, and they get blasted, it's not right. So my word of caution here tonight is there are people like me out here that will file complaints when we see something that's not being right, and that's our Brown Act right. And I just want to caution you, if someone is doing something that you don't think is right, please avoid using their name in a public meeting, because the perception is that they're being singled out. And I don't mind, as you know, most people like to hear their name, you know? And in reality, outside of a public meeting, I got no problem with it. Unless I bring my name up and state it publicly, that's my right. It's also my right to not state it for the Brown Act. I want to read you one brief quote in closing.
William, your time is up.
One brief quote. Well, can I get the one brief?
Make it quick.
Okay, it's Theodore Roosevelt. No man is above the law, and no man is below it, nor do we ask any man's permission when we require him to obey it. Obedience to the law is demanded as a right, not asked as a favor. Thank you very much for listening, and again, thank you for not doing any of the things I said.
All right, thank you, Mike.
What's a DNS?
Oh, early notification system, the agenda.
ENS.
ENS.
ENS, I got it.
ENS. Sorry. I threw out the acronym and I didn't spell it out.
Are there anyone else that has comment or question or that would like to speak under general public comments? If not, we're going to move into item number 7, presidential comments. With that, I'd like to thank Colleen and Steve here, along with Peter, for the excellent work that they've been doing on the web ad hoc committee and the accomplishments that they've made and the time and efforts that they put in pulling this their presentation tonight together. And I'd also like to let everybody know that there's a Valley Disaster Preparedness Fair on October 3rd that will be held at Fire Station 87 on Balboa, just south of Devonshire Street. That we fund or participants in the last 6 or 7 years. I'd like everybody that can attend, please mark your calendar. It's a free event. First 500 or 600 people get free earthquake preparedness bags, and it's a great event. That way you can learn what to do during and prepare for an earthquake or a disaster, and prepares you and hopefully prepare some of your neighbors in treating any injuries or how to deal with crises as they arise. So if you're available October 3rd, please attend that. With that, I'm going to roll into item number 8, discussion and motion to approve the May Northridge West Neighborhood Council meeting minutes. I sent them out, the latest revision today, to all the board members. Did everybody have a chance to get it?
I did. My computer down.
Okay, well, here they are. So,
Okay.
please look at it. Need a minute. And for those that provided me comments on the meeting minutes, I want to thank you. That were greatly appreciated. And I incorporated all the changes that were requested into those meeting minutes that are going to be presented before the board tonight. If there's no questions, does anybody have any questions? I'm going to make a motion. Yes. Yes. So I'm going to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of May 2015. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
John, seconds it. I just want to give Glenn some time to.
Well, I'm thinking of it, I think,
No, don't think. Okay.
I don't think we put one thing on the last.
What I'd like to do is, I see some new faces tonight. I would like to thank you for participating tonight. We meet once a month, every second Tuesday of each month. We're your voice to the city council and to Councilman Englander's office, and now to our latest school board member. So I'd like to encourage you to come out and help participate in some of our committee meetings. And if there are items of concern to you within the city, give us a call, let us know how we can be of assistance. Shopping carts, we don't rely on the city. We have a group of us that go out and collect them and take them and dispose of them. So if you have a problem with shopping carts, let us know. If you have problems with overgrown trees, you have problems with debris in your area, or anything, this board here is here to be your voice to City Hall and help get your issues resolved. So please grab a hold of one of our cards. If you need something, give us a call. Email us. Let us see how we can help you out. And we'd love to have you participate. If there
Oh,
Have you had
there's
enough
one,
time?
of number 29, it was under comments.
Okay.
It says Monday, June the 22nd. It should have been Saturday, 22nd.
Okay, so let's make that correction right there. Give it to Francine right now.
Yeah, that's one thing,
Yes, William.
Were there any more minutes that were on the table that I didn't get any of?
These are the May.
These are the May minutes that you're approving now, right?
Yes.
Were there copies on the table?
You've got this one right here.
okay.
You got the,
Thank you.
I just have an extra copy.
okay, you got Glenn's correction?
About Saturday, June 20th.
Right. Are there any, or is the board in approval with that correction? If they are, we'll accept the meeting minutes as modified with the correction. All right, is there any discussion from the board on the meeting minutes, May meeting minutes? Is there any discussion or comments from the stakeholders? If there aren't, I call for a vote to accept the meeting minutes. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Unanimous. We're going to roll into item number 9, discussion and motion to approve the treasurer's monthly expense report. Everybody please grab the monthly expense report. Looks like this right here. And the first page has an itemized list. Postage, $5.79. Chips, water, $39.46. Large sandwich platter for general meeting, $60. Load, these are ramps for the lawnmower, $54.49. Loppers, handles, wheat supplies for community outreach, $243.82. Postage, $5.75. Minute taker, $51.98. Minute taker, $57.75. Minute taker, $92.40. May ad, $3.15. May office, $150. And maintenance agreement for the receipt of medium, $200 for a total of $39.91.40.
Tom, I think it continues,
It's
if I'm
on
not mistaken,
page
on the
3.
back.
It's on page 3. Awesome.
Web maintenance, $250. April office, $150. April advertising, $315. Neighborhood council, $1,000. Budget advocates, $1,000. Glenn, just out of curiosity, why are we behind on our monthly rent and our advertising?
Oh, the one I didn't have an invoice, that would have been for, I think, April. June's coming up.
Okay, have you got a hold of Wayne or Stephanie, and, because they were supposed to
Yeah,
provide you these.
they sent me the, I think I did it, oh, there's 2 times in there, if you'll notice.
Have you gotten hold of those folks and told them you need the invoice no
I
later
got
than
you.
the 5th? Because we had,
The last one is for April,
Glenn,
on page 3.
have
And
you
May,
spoken, Glenn,
yeah, I have.
okay,
And I got the June one, it's just, I haven't paid it yet.
okay.
My computer's down.
If there's a
so-
problem, let me know, okay? But it's supposed to be submitted by the 5th of the month.
Yeah, that part I got, but I haven't,
All right, so that brings us at a total of $33,991.40. Are there any questions from the board? Any questions from the audience? I'll make the motion to approve the meeting minutes or the monthly expense report for the month of May. Is there a second?
Second.
Peter? All right, if there's no additional comments, let me, I'm gonna have to go through the roll call here. Each individual will have to be identified. Tom Johnson, yes. Glenn Wilson.
Yes.
David Uranga.
Yes.
Debbie Penman.
Yes.
John Ma. We'll get him when he comes back. Freddie Mack, absent. Alec Orozco.
Yeah.
Colleen Pick.
Yes.
Pamela Gentry. Peter Lasky.
Yes.
Stephen Koch.
Yes.
Oh, did you take,
John is not.
well, I'm thinking, she was at, do you think your ethics that I said?
Hey, Glenn. All right, with that, the motion passes. Francine will get John's when he comes back from the respite. Moving on to the next item will be discussion, number 10, discussion and motion to approve $500 MPG for Special Olympics. All right, I'll make the motion. Is there a second for the motion?
I'll second.
All right, David, you're in there.
I got a comment.
Yes.
If it approves everything that's on it, we're gonna be $500 over our amount for NPG right now.
Okay. Are
That's the
there,
problem right now.
in our budget, do we have we exhausted all the funds that were allocated to the board?
Well, all the funds on the NPG,
Overall, throughout the,
maybe,
no, I'm asking, is there
let me look at my,
funding line? Because as you know, we have some category revisions here tonight.
yeah, I know we do.
So, are we,
me check
my question to you is, it's got a purpose. We don't want to be sending funds back to the city if there's ability that we could fund a project that supports our community.
Okay, let me get my notes. Further note.
Yes.
While he's looking for that, Meg, you might indicate in your motion which entity you're granting it to for the benefit of the
Special
the
Olympics.
Special Olympics, just so there can be no question as to whether it's going to the Kiwanis or which organization to be distributed to it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, what
I
I'm gonna,
would say,
while you look at that, Glenn, John, we had a vote on the treasurer's expense report. Were you in favor or?
I vote yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Francis, could you,
Got it.
unanimous?
okay,
Okay, great. Glenn, do you need some time for that?
okay, the only, I'm not sure exactly what I got on it, but see, as of May, the number 100 level and then your 200,
So in operations, is there,
and then, there might be something in operations, we'll try to be about it. Operations, and there is gonna be,
because right here, based on your expense report, it says unspent budget balance for operations, $2,976.
okay, I just so happen to have it all the way down with number 300. If we transfer everything that we got to $4,250 out of that, and send 4,000 to outreach, 250 for NPG, it leaves community improvements with $638.37. And I haven't done any community improvement expenses this month yet.
Okay, so what you're saying is in category 300, we have approximately $600.
Yeah.
And
So that's the only place, and then you also already have on the agenda to move on number 15, 250 from 300 to NPG. And the only way you could do that, you'd have to change it from 250 to 750, if you wanna do that. That's the only way you can afford it.
all right, so you're saying under category 300, we have $600 that we could.
Yeah, 600, yeah.
PG. All right, what about operations? Does operations still have $2,976 in unspent or unallocated funds?
Take a look at, there's an oddball, the one sheet right here tells you what all has the funds. Pending, request. The first thing you got, decision publication, 315, that's, operations. Under 200, it's $150. Oops, I got it crossed up. It's supposed to be 200 to 315.
Okay, let's make this painless, Glenn.
Yeah, that's the payments going on.
We have the money in community improvement.
That would be the easiest to do it is take
Okay.
out community improvements, because I haven't spent anything in community improvements.
And put it over.
Yeah, and that's the simplest, because you're already gonna move 250 from community improvements anyhow, so if you add 500,
So
it would cover it.
looking at the snapshot of this, we're not gonna be leaving $3,000 in category 100. That could have been used for,
It could have been, but with community improvements, I haven't done any cleanups this month, so
okay,
Tom,
so, yes.
I believe you can't approve the expenditure, but wait for the funding.
Well, what we have to do this month, in order to get this out of this year's
Yes.
funding, what we have to do is we have to, what we have planned here is transferring funds from one category to another category to support the projects that we have
It's the end of the fiscal
scheduled.
year.
Okay.
And then,
Marcy says because of the end of the fiscal year.
correct,
If it was not the end of the fiscal year, then you could approve the expenditure
Sure.
and fund it later. Okay.
exactly.
right.
I withdraw my comment.
I'm just trying to prudently use the funds that we have
I understand what
for
you're
the
trying to do.
community in the best possible way.
I didn't know you were up against it.
Yes, William?
Didn't know that these were related to the budget. These expenditures or promises, are they reflected in the MERS report?
No,
Should they be in the MERS report?
no, they're
because
just
that's for
pending
May.
the request.
Okay, this is for May, so these are pending requests
Yeah,
that you
this is
approved
so-
in May that are against what's left in the budget.
This is the stuff that either hadn't got approved or is approved
So,
but hadn't got paid.
What I'm trying to get at is all this stuff should be deducted from these line items of unspent budget balances in order to accurately determine how much money you have left in each one of those allocations to know where to allocate from where to where.
But not on the monthly expense report.
No, but I mean, if you're trying to make a
Yeah, I know.
decision based on this monthly expenditure report as to reallocation, you don't have enough information because you have all this here
Right.
that you have to subtract from those unspent budget items to know how much is really left. And has that been done so we know what the real unspent budget balance is after these promised or paid expenses that have already been taken place after the May's MERS report?
There, on page 1, C outstanding commitments is basically, some of that's right in there, but it's not singled out. They won't let you do a lot of stuff like it used to be.
So all the things that are on here are in these outstanding,
Basically,
commitments. Basically, are they or aren't they?
They might not be exactly number-wise, but they're close.
Accounting,
Yeah, I know,
I mean, I'm only
They might-
speaking up because I don't want you to have a problem later on.
I know. And then my computer's been down for a week, so that doesn't help me out either.
Well, William, basically what this is a snapshot. What he's saying is that these are the outstanding commitments, and he's got listed $5,399.80.
But you don't know what their allocations and item lines are to know what's left in those reallocations. I understand what you're trying to do, and I got no problem with what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that you're using accurate numbers when you do it, so you don't make an accounting mistake and have everything overturned by done and your funds frozen or something.
Yeah, I do know what that is. I do know some, you have that from.
I'm just trying to tally up
Yeah.
right now.
That
just-
tallied up for that.
Okay. Based on the values on this sheet that you just presented, William.
Which one? What are we talking about? Are we talking about this one?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
That value is 410870. What Glenn has here for his outstanding commitments is 5399.80. So it looks like he's taken in some additional.
Well, this has rent and this has contract, this has other things that he's got.
He's included some other items that are not reflected on this sheet in his
True.
evaluation.
I mean, you guys can do what you want, but at least get these things subtracted from what you've got on your expenditures before you start talking about where you're going to. I mean, if you're going to use close numbers, at least put them on here and so you can see what that balance, that remaining balance is before you reallocate.
Well, the way I look at this.
Again, if you choose to do it close, I mean, that's all you can do right now. I understand the situation that you're in with having to spend the money. But you don't want to have it overturned either.
No,
So,
and I
you know, I could live with close enough.
It's
I don't know if Dunn can, but I can live with close enough. I just want to have it be somewhat accurate before you reallocate.
Based on the information that we've gotten in the monthly treasurer's report, we've got a total expenditures of commitments of $24,811.40. The annual budget of $37,000 leaves us with a balanced budget of $12,188. Based on that value that was presented to the executive board, there was a decision to allocate funds that were uncommitted into different categories so that we would fund some of these projects. As you'll see in items 15 and 16 when we get down to those. So
13.
what we want to do, and 13, is what we want to do is approve, or according to our treasurer, we do have the funds that would be available to fund a $500 NPG for Special Olympics. We're just going to have to pull it out of category 300 and move it into category 400 to be able to fund that program. Is that correct, Glenn?
That's correct.
Okay.
Tom,
Yes.
there is one agenda item here that is to an extent discretionary, and that's budget item 13, which is up to $4,900. That does give you some room to play, because that can be passed, and then this can be figured out more exactly, and then, if necessary, the funding line would be less than $4,900 to keep it within our fiscal year budget.
If it's needed.
Can I make a suggestion, Tom?
Yes.
Could we, I'd make a suggestion that we table item number 10 for the time being, and we
At the
bring
moment.
it back onto the table after we have our presentation from Ms. Moore here on items number 12 and 13, and then we can be better informed about how much of the money we need in item 13 for this thing. So I would like to make that suggestion, is that we table this and bring it back after we discuss those two items.
All right. Are there any other comments or discussions from the board? We have a second motion on it. Do we have a second for this motion already?
You have a
Francie?
motion, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
David Uranga.
Okay. With that, if there's no further discussion, I'm gonna call for a vote.
Can, just,
Yes.
could you please restate the motion?
The motion is to, discussion and motion to approve up to $500 for an MPG grant for the Special Olympics. Now, we need to identify the Special Olympics.
No, you need to identify either going through the Kiwanis or the organization that,
David
the other,
Honda.
that David Honda was
Okay,
told
but the
you.
Kiwanis is in our,
That's the one I believe you've already
Right.
gotten the
With
MPG application.
Road.
Yeah, that
Correct.
was
With
Mrs. Rose.
right, Mrs. Rhodes.
Right.
And that,
That's-
and she brought it up.
Exactly, she
And
brought
if
everything.
if she asked for it, you shouldn't give the money to
No,
somebody
no,
else.
no, agreed.
So you just might indicate that it's through the Kiwanis
Kiwanis.
that it's going.
Mhm.
Okay, so, Francine, can you be clear, that's where we're gonna be
Yeah, that's what
allocating
for
the
Kiwanis.
MP? Right.
Yeah.
Kiwanis for the
Kiwanis
special,
for the Special Olympics.
to the Kiwanis for Special Olympics.
Oh, I said Special Olympics.
No, to the
Via
Kiwanis for
Kiwanis.
special,
Correct.
and benefits.
Wait a minute, she just said correct and you're saying.
Okay, it's to the Kiwanis for the benefit of the Special Olympics.
You see it on Kiwanis? I only see Kiwanis for the senior dance. I don't see.
So it's
You're
not,
adding
it's
it.
not on
You're,
It's not on this one.
No, it hasn't
Hey,
got
Glenn,
paid.
do you
We're
have
trying
that
to add
paper?
it.
Glenn, last month they gave you the start of the NPG form. Who was
Yeah, I
this?
sent it in, but it hasn't got,
You have no copy of it with you now?
but no, I don't happen to have a copy.
Maybe next time we can have copies of the MPGs in progress with us.
All right, with that, for that motion, Tom Johnson, yes. Glenn Wilson,
Yes.
David Uranga,
Yes.
Debbie Penman, abstain. John Ma,
Yes.
Freddie Mac, Alex Orozco,
Yes.
Colleen Pick,
Yes.
Pamela Gentry, Peter Lassick,
Yes.
Steve Koch.
Yes.
All right, motion passes.
Okay, everything was yes except for Debbie on it.
Glenn? Marcy has something to say.
Tom.
Oh, Tom.
just remember that according to Dunn, now an abstention is a yes.
Correct.
Just a reminder
Yes.
to your board.
So if you say abstain, that means you want
That
your
you're-
approval.
it's an
We took a
affirmative
vote
vote.
on that form.
Yeah,
We decided that, and Ms. Dempsey would
Pardon
be
me?
no.
it's right, it would be a no.
Ours, it's a no.
That's that was our, position on it.
It's not a blanket across all of Dunn.
Show me where.
You'll have to go back to our meeting minutes, they're on the website,
But hey,
and they'll reflect,
but
what our position was.
that's in your minutes, but until you have a final approval
Yeah.
of your
True.
bylaw changes by Don and the city attorney, Mr. Orkin is correct under the current city policy.
No,
It's gotta be in your
I think
bylaws.
I don't agree with you. I
We were
think
at that
It
meeting.
remains the same, it hasn't changed.
No, the general manager of the department put something, a comment out, and I passed it out 2 or 3 meetings ago, and I sent it to you guys. It's gotta be in your bylaws. Just by putting it in your minutes, or it's not gonna change it. So rather than abstaining, maybe the person can say either yes or no, and that will,
Better.
All right, Debbie,
Debbie's
says
gonna
yes.
change it to yes.
So it's
Okay.
unanimous.
and then your homework is by next meeting, to see exactly where we stand.
Number 11, discussion and motion to approve funding line of up to $4,000 for outreach election mailer, seeking to notify stakeholders of 3 empty seats on the board, renter, senior, at large, in an upcoming NWNC election next March. I'll make the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second. discussion?
Is that you, Colin?
No.
Oh, Debbie, okay.
Debbie.
Some female.
What this is $4,000, so that way we can send out a flyer like we did at our last election to notify all the stakeholders. We have approximately 20,000 stakeholders in our area, jurisdiction. And what we want to do is reach out to them with a flyer saying, hey, this is who we are, this is where we are. Please come and join us. There are 3 positions that are open on the board. We're looking for volunteers for our committees. That's what this flyer is for, and it's in conjunction with the election arm of the council. David may want to add.
Well, we were working on the flyer, and Mr. Lasky and I are collaborating on coming up with a final version of it, which that will print in. We'll have estimates of the cost of the flyer, and then present that to the board.
Any discussion for the board? Yes.
Yes, so if I understand it correctly, this will cover both the election and these 3 open seats will be at this next coming election.
Yes, but what it is it's getting,
That's correct.
it's an outreach to try to let people know who we are, what we're doing, and that we have positions available that we can fill, and come out and help develop the community.
So, to reiterate, basically, the flyer is gonna, the one flyer is gonna cover both subjects.
Yes. That's what I wanted to do. I figured instead of just spending it just for an election, make it an outreach.
Well, I think that's a very good idea. This part, I'm confused. The flyer is announcing 3 vacancies. Is the purpose to announce it so people can run for these seats next year, or is for people to apply for the vacancies to be put in the board?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that way they'll know that we have vacancies and that we'll, at next, in March, we'll be having an election and we'll be needing positions filled.
Okay, let me clear what one thing is. At large is 2018, Brenner is 2018, senior 2 is 2016. That's the one that's gonna be coming up in March next year. So if the, would be on the board for about 6 months, the senior is the short one.
Are there any other questions from the audience? Yes.
I have a question here, Tom. I'm confused, like Mr. Maw. It says we're talking, I've suddenly seen a new outreach flyer, a new flyer here. Guys, I don't ever remember this. And I've been to a lot of meetings. I don't ever remember this particular one coming through for an approval before it went for printing. I don't, I didn't see this one get approved in a meeting for printing. Because I recall that in that we had a problem with previous board members getting money to print flyers, and they were never approved at a board meeting. That was our previous flyer. So I mentioned that to you, so I'm trying to figure out where we come up with this one. And I'm under the impression here, in item number 11,
All right, well, just
that we
let me
have
answer
two, that we're
one
dealing
question
with two
right there.
separate issues.
That was funded and that was voted on by the board for that flyer that you had, that the one that you have
But
now.
no, I don't dispute the funding, Tom. I don't dispute the funding of the flyer. I'll go with the funding of the flyer. What I'm disputing on this flyer is not the funding. I'm disputing the approval of the final copy before it went to press. Because on our previous flyer, we said, hey, we can't do this again. This has got to come before the board before we go to press with it.
That was actually vented through committees, and I believe the next board member, Utiva Spurlock, Peter, and there was
it
other
could be
people
vetted,
that
but
were
it didn't
involved in
come through.
venting that, and it was done through a
for a
committee.
vote.
It was done through a committee, and it was processed accordingly. So what I like to do is move forward, and we can address your issue after the meeting, and look back at some meetings